Okay, so I'm making this video because I just got back from the Chicago show NRG tour show thing, and I was gonna tell you guys what happened because it's not extremely oh my god, but it's still I love it and it made me very happy. Okay, so I'll just start from the beginning. I left school, like my mom drove me. I left school at like 2:30. I got out at 2:30. And we started driving. And we didn't get there till like 3:40. And I was like, okay. But then like we got something to eat first and then we went to the hotel and we were waiting around and then I was waiting for Maddie, my friend. Yeah. And I am 5 walked in and I was like, oh my god. But I didn't say anything to them because, I didn't feel like saying anything to them. But then Maddie got there and we were waiting in line to get our wristbands. And then I bought a shirt and a Madison poster and I bought a Heart Madison wristband. And so I had those things and we were waiting in line for the meet and greet for a while. And when we finally got in, I'm just skipping ahead because nothing big really happened. But because I didn't spend the night at the hotel and I wasn't there for a long time. But whatever. Um, so then when they let us into the room because they were like, show us your wristbands, and we were like, okay. We got into the room. The lady gave us our shirt, and then I got the I Am 5 poster, and then like the Flavas and Boys poster, the giant one. It's huge. It is huge. Surprising. I was like, okay. And then they gave us our passes things, and so we were waiting in line, and I was like, I wasn't even close to the tables yet with Maddie. It was like Maddie, me, my mom, and Maddie's mom, and so like there was like music playing, and like nobody was dancing, but like I was just kind of like, well, you know what? I want to have fun, so I just kind of like started doing stupid dancing in line, and then like this guy came up to me. It was this black guy, and he had a microphone, so he was like a part of the tour thing, and he was like, "Nice, hey, what's your name?" And I was like, Maggie, and he's like, "Are you excited to be here tonight? Are you excited?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm so excited. Madison is absolutely perfect." He was like, "Madison?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he has the mic with him and he's like, "Madison!" And he keeps calling Madison's name. Madison stands up on the chair and he's like looking around and he's like, "Madison, black dude over here talking to you." And then Madison was like, "Yeah?" And then he was like, "Come here, jump the table, come over here for a minute." So then Madison just stopped right in the middle of his autographs and everything, came around, and he was like, "This girl thinks you're perfect." And he was like, "Aw, oh my god." And then he like hugged me. Oh my god, I legit started freaking out. I was like, "Oh my god, you are so perfect. I love you so, 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 so much." And he's like, "No, you're perfect." And then like he stepped back and then the black guy, he was like, "You think she's perfect?" And he's like, "She is so much more perfect than I am." And I was like, "Oh my god, I love you so much." She's like, "I love you more." And it was, oh my god, everyone was like looking at me and I thought people were taking pictures of me and I was like, oh my god, I was so happy. And it like totally made my night. That was probably like the highlight of my night. So then like we're waiting in line more, and then the first person was one of the Flavas, and I took a picture with her. And then next was Lewis, and we didn't really say much to each other, but I was like, "Oh, hi, Lewis," like, "Hey," and then we got a picture with him, and then there was another Flava next, and then it was Madison. So I got up. There were these girls in front of me, and somehow birthdays got mentioned, and he was like, "Well, my birthday's coming up," and I was like, "Happy early birthday," and he was like, "Thanks." I was like, "You're welcome." He's like, "Yeah, my birthday's in December," and I was like, "You're a liar." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah, you're a liar. Don't lie to your fans." And he was like, "December, it's December." And then Lewis was like, and he like turned to me, he's like, "My birthday's coming up July." And I'm like, "Yep, I know, happy early birthday." He was like, and then, So I got to Madison, he signed my shirt and then he signed my poster, and he was signing my little picture of him, and he was like, after he wrote the love you part, I was like, I know you love me. And I was like, just kidding. He's like, no, I do. I love you. I was like, okay, I love you more. And he's like, no, no, I love you more than you love me. And I was like, no. And then so I handed him my gift to him. He was like, you didn't have to give me a gift. And then he was like, come here. And then he gave me a hug. So then I was like, okay, just to let you know, there is a letter in there to you that I wrote for you, and you have to absolutely promise me you'll read it. And he's like, I read all my fan mail. And I'm like, I know, but you have to promise me you'll read it. And he's like, I will. Do you want me to read it right now? And I'm like, well, it's like 2 pages long. He's like, oh wow. Where is it? So then he was like taking the gift wrap out, and I pulled it out for him. And then he put it back in. I was just like, it's right here. And then I put it back in, and he was like, okay, yeah, I will read it, I promise. And I was like, you have to pinky promise. So then we pinky promised, and he was like, gotta kiss it. And then he kissed it, like, like that. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, I love you. He's like, I love you more. And I'm like, no, you don't. I love you more. He's like, it was so cute. And then after him, I believe was I am 5, and then they were all like smiling at me. And then Dalton, he was like, hey! And I was like, hi. He's like, and then I got to Cole, and he was the last I am 5 person. And I was like, so, it's your birthday. He's like, yup. And I'm like, happy birthday. And he's like, so, which boy? Which boy is it? It's Spiky Mikey, isn't it? You're going for Spiky Mikey. And I'm like, Madison. And he was like, oh, Madison. I was like, yup. And then next was, Taya, Tam's sister, but she wasn't really talkative, and I don't even think she signed my poster, so I was like, okay, cool. She wasn't really paying attention, but then next it was Jason, and then he signed my stuff, and he was like, hey, I was like, hi, Jason, and we got a picture together. Oh, and I got a picture of Madison, too, forgot to say that. And then after him was, Tam, and she signed my stuff, and I took a picture with her. She's perfect, I love her. And then after her was Mikey, and Mikey looked up to me and he was like, hey. I was like, hey, Mikey. And I took a picture with him, and I was like, you're perfect. And he's like, nope, you need to stop. He was like, nope, you're perfect, I love you more. Because I said you're perfect and I love you, and he's like, nope, you're more perfect and I love you more. And I was like, no, I don't think that's possible. And he's like, well, you're saying is impossible. And I'm like, and then Maddie was like, I like your hair today, Mikey. And I was like, it's very spiky. And he was like, oh, thanks. And then after Mikey was, I want to say Angel. I think it might have been Angel. Might have been somebody else. I don't really know. It was another flavor. I took a picture with her. And then last was Nick. And he signed my stuff, and I took a picture with him. And then I hugged him. And then we were waiting at the door, and the black guy from before, he was near us, so I took a picture with him. And I was like, I cannot thank you enough for before, when you got Madison to come over to me. That meant so much to me, more than words can describe. That literally means the world to me. Thank you so much. And he was like, oh wow, no, you're welcome. Oh, and then when I was at the beginning of the line, this girl, I don't know who she was. She just came up. She was like behind us in line, and she was just like, "You are so pretty," and I was like, "Thank you." And then she like hugged me. She's like, "You're so beautiful." I was like, "Okay." So then we were waiting in line to go into the tour show thing, and then we finally got to go, and we got third row in the left aisle, like the left seats. So we got good seats, and then like it was so much fun. It was so much fun. We would point I am 5 when they were on stage and say, we love you. And then they'd point back at us and wink at us. And it was like, yes, yes. And Like I kept seeing Madison backstage when I Am 5 was on, and it looked, I'm not, he was like looking in my direction, so I got really scared because I was like, oh my god, what if he's looking at me? And then he would like hit Tam, and then Tam would look over at us, and I'm like, okay. I got really nervous. And then like he was right next to us, and Maddie's mom was like holding up a picture to him of him from last year's tour show, and she's like, see how much you've grown? And he's like, oh my god, I've grown up so much. And like he kept looking down near me, and I got really nervous. And yeah, so that's basically what happened. I didn't have a huge experience, and I'm not going tomorrow, so that was only time I seeing them. But it was so much fun. I'm so happy I went. And yeah, that's basically all that happened. And I will put the pictures and videos up on my laptop, and I will get those up soon. All my pictures will be up soon. And yeah, so I had a very great time, and I really, really hope Madison reads my letter and likes my gift and everything. And if you're going to the NRG tour, like the future shows, you will have so much fun. If you're talkative and loud, you will have so much fun. I swear to you, you will. So just make the best out of your experience, because you don't get that much time to spend with them. So if you're like me and you're only going one day, you really have to make the best out of your experience. And I did. It was so much fun, and I'm so happy. But yeah, so that was my NRG tour experience for the day. Thanks.